Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. Yeah. I guess last time we ended this, we started a mine if I'm correct. Which means I'm gonna make more pickaxes. And probably more torches. And yeah. We don't need that yet. There we go. Nothing's cooking. We can use that charcoal. We'll keep the charcoal in there. Yep. And then we'll make some pickaxes. There we go. And we'll go ahead and make more torches because we seem to be running a bit low. There we go. There we go, and there we go. We got all our picks ready. And now we can just go mine. Here we are. Oh, there's a cave. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and just, I remember now. I believe I got lost, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just continue the mine, though. There we go. Oh, okay, so I can't see the blocks getting destroyed, which is hilarious. I think it might be the Optifine. I'm using an Optifine beta version at the moment. Because the official Optifine, basically Optifine is the mod that lets you use shaders and all that good stuff. Actually, I'll leave this open because why not? Just in case I want to go back. It basically just lets you use shaders and all that. And the official version is about 99.6% done according to the creator of it, which you can check on his Reddit, reddit.com/Optifine. And so I'm using a beta version because he releases like beta versions when it's basically like good enough to work, but not completely done. And I guess I'm using the latest one, which is the Preview 18 version for 1.15.2. And it seems to be a bit, I guess this is part of the bugginess, but it's fine because I get to use my awesome shaders. Which is gonna suck because when 1.16 comes through, then I'm gonna be screwed. Like, there's nothing I can do in terms of shaders, so I'm gonna have to wait a long time for him to finish an unstable beta version of 1.16 shaders, and everyone's gonna hound him over it. Back when 1.14 released, oh my god, so many people flocked, were like, oh my god. Because like around that time was when like all the realistic shaders were coming out with like the ray tracing and all of that. And like even the creator of like the ray tracing shader came out and was like, I mean, it's past tracing technically by the data he's using, but you know, everyone says it's ray tracing because that sounds cooler. But it basically does the same thing. As far as I understand, the real difference between path tracing and ray tracing is not that like, it's just that the lighting from like things that emit light just traces a path similar to that of light rays, and ray tracing traces a path similar to that of light, if I'm understanding. I just want to make it clear I haven't done any amount of like real research on this. This is just what I've heard from secondhand sources. I assume there is a difference because the different ways in which it's implemented causes different results, because there's the guy who made I forget his name, but he's the one who basically made like the Java edition ray tracing, in parentheses path tracing shaders. And NVIDIA is working directly with Microsoft to create ray tracing RTX for Minecraft Windows 10 Edition, because no one plays Windows 10 Edition. Which sucks because it's like, why can't they add that to Minecraft Java? I guess there'd be no point in competing with a mod maker. It's really funny. I believe I just got a response on a comment I made on a YouTube video, which I think is funny. So I watch Linus Tech Tips, which is just a tech channel. and he basically reviews like tech news and tech gadgets and like all like the newest processors and all that good stuff. And he just made a video basically saying why I still love Intel. And before I watched the video, I basically just commented AMD is king, but then like I like followed it up with, but I could completely understand why someone would want to buy Intel for like better performance if they want to like shave out like the extra bucks, because it's like I understand that everyone like loves to dunk on Intel, myself included. I will always dunk on Intel because for me, Intel are the type of makers who like have like their stuff costs so much. Like when I could just get an AMD processor for $100 that'll work just as well for gaming, for what I need in editing and streaming and all that, because AMD's price to performance is just amazing, while Intel's is just like questionable at best. But I can completely understand. So basically, I made that comment, right? And then I watched the video, and I made another comment that was like, Linus does a good job of explaining why, like, why AMD might not always be the best choice, especially for, oh nice, I love it when the caves do this, it looks so beautiful. I made a comment basically just saying that it's good that Linus basically shows like the ins and outs of why someone might choose Intel as a better option for like their specific tasks that they're trying to complete. For example, like, oh wow, so much gravel. I just want some flint. Wow. But like, basically, I basically could completely understand what he was saying, and I agreed with it. It makes sense because like, if you're just a casual gamer, or like even a hardcore gamer, or like a video editor or streamer or YouTube content creator, blah blah blah, then going Intel, depending on your financial status, might not be the best choice if you're just trying to do gaming, editing, streaming, blah blah blah. But in the video, Linus talks about the fact that he tried to make like an NVMe storage server with PCIe lanes, ran on an AMD CPU, and AMD was great, but that sometimes the data wouldn't be saved, and like he was having a lot of hiccups with setting up the server, and that like, oh whoops, and that there was just like there's a lot more hiccups that he was having than when he had just used an Intel one. And that makes complete sense. I mean, for him, like Linus Tech Tips is like now like a really big group of people doing a lot of stuff, so it makes sense that like, you know, for someone like him who can bear the cost and also get a really good performance boost out of it, would want to go and use Intel. And so someone just replied to me, and I agreed with that. Like I watched the video and I was like, yeah, this makes sense. So I made a second comment basically saying that like it makes sense. I just basically said that like the bulk of consumers might not be the margin that within the profit margins or within the margin of having this amount of disposable income to justify buying price to performance ratio price products from Intel. But I basically said that I understand that if someone does want to do it, that there are certain situations and options that make it so Intel can sometimes be the better option in the long run. And freaking so some guy just replied to, I guess, my first comment on YouTube, because I got a notification on my phone, and basically it was like, did you even watch the video? And it's like, I did watch the video, and like, my first comment was a joke. Well, the first sentence was a joke, and I even agreed that like Intel would be like the better option anyway. Like, and then my second comment, I explained further reasoning that Intel still could be a better option. Like, so I just don't get, like, I'm just like, is someone like getting mad at me for for like one, making a joke, and two, like also watching the video and agreeing with it? It's like, come on, bro. I just think that's funny. if you're wondering, which you're probably not, but if you are, I am using an AMD CPU if it wasn't clear enough. I built my own computer and am using an AMD Ryzen 5 2600 CPU that I got for like 120 bucks, and it's been working wonderfully. Renders, streams, edits, plays games, it's all the stuff I need to do. If I remember all the parts correctly, I'm using a Zotac GeForce 1070 graphics card with 6 gigabytes of VRAM. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM running at 2600 speed or a little bit above that from Team Vulcan. I know it's not the fastest RAM, but I mean it gets the job done. It's more than enough for me, and I can always add more in the future. I'm using a 240 gigabyte SSD internal hard drive, well, internal solid state drive, to hold my operating system. I'm using WD Western Digital 1 terabyte. Well, I'm using 2 Western Digital 1 terabyte hard drives to basically hold a lot of other stuff on my computer. So I have like a combined total of about 2.24 terabytes of storage, 240 gigabytes of that storage being SSD space. And yeah, I got the second terabyte of storage hard drive from my brother, who got it for me for my birthday, which was great. It just sucked because I lost my freaking SATA cable, so I had to buy another SATA cable and couldn't even use it for a while. And also at that time, my graphics card had just broke for like no reason. Like it just I don't know what happened. So I basically I have the NVIDIA GeForce Experience app installed on my computer, and so it basically tells you when like your NVIDIA GeForce graphics card needs updating, or like they like release more drivers that are updated. And so I updated the drivers, and it like they just like did everything. And then I tried to load up Rainbow Six Siege to play with my friends, and then my screen would just go black, and then my fans would just start kicking up in terms of like noise, and I would be able to hear things, but I wouldn't be able to see anything. My computer wouldn't respond, so I'd have to turn off my computer, like hard reset, and then turn it back on, and everything would just be fine. And I'm like, what the heck? So I was like, okay, that was weird. So I loaded up Siege again, and it did the same thing. And like I restarted it and tried to load Siege again, it just didn't work. So I was like, obviously something's not working. So like I tried to Google it, nothing was coming up. Like no one was having the issue. I didn't understand what was happening. So I was like, screw it, I'll just try in a couple days. Tried like the next day, didn't work. Tried the day after that, didn't work. And then tried like a day after that, still didn't work. Even this was like continuous Googling too to figure out what the hell is happening to my PC. Like, why is Siege just not loading? I've always played Siege. It's like this game is like I've always played it. It's not like it's too hard for my PC to handle. I mean, like a GTX 1070 is like that can handle Rainbow Six Siege. And so just nothing would work. I just could not load up Siege. So basically I found some stuff that was basically saying that it was most likely a graphics card issue. Well, obviously. But like that maybe the graphics card was just like crashing. Like the drivers just weren't. Like maybe the drivers weren't updated, or like the drivers weren't working properly, so therefore the the graphic drivers were just crashing. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So I went ahead and just I was like, well, I mean, I updated it, so these are the most updated like graphics card things. So I asked like my friend, I was like, yo, did you update your graphics drivers? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, do you have any problems? They were like, nope. And damn, I fucked this up. No wonder I felt so close. I gotta mind that. But yeah, I was like, what the hell? So apparently they updated their drivers. Nothing wrong there. Worked for them. And I was like, okay, cool. So it's just mine. And then so I basically uninstalled the drivers, reinstalled the drivers, and oh my god. Hold on. Oh my god, why are there so many zombies here? There we go. Oh my god, dude. Why are you 360ing me? Yeah, so I basically uninstalled, reinstalled, did all that good stuff. I wonder if I can make it to the bed to just sleep, just for the hell of it. Oh. And so, okay, so like then I tried to reinstall it. It still didn't work. And then I uninstalled it and tried to give like a clean install of the computer, just recognizing it for itself. So I uninstalled the drivers, turned off the computer completely, just went ahead and turned off the computer, turned it back on, and then it freaking then my PC just is not getting any any freaking it's not giving off any video signal. And I was like, what the hell? So I was like, is my graphics card just not working? Like, my graphics card just did not turn on. It just was not working for whatever reason. And it decided that just turning on, it was just something that was not going to do. It wasn't giving out any video signal. And so I think at one point too, I checked the graphics card and was like, what the hell? So then I took it out. I took it out because it wasn't turning on. Like, I took it out of the computer and put it back in, and then then it just wasn't turning on again. Like, it just stopped turning on. It wasn't working, and like for sure now, it just was not giving off any signal. It was plugged in. I checked everything. It just for some reason had just completely stopped working. Now it was like it was done. So I was like, well, fuck, because I spent like $300-$400 on this thing. Like, the graphics card is like the most expensive part of like the PC, so I spent like so much money on this, and it just stopped working, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? I tried everything, tried taking it out, putting it back in, unplugging it, plugging it back in. I was like checking every other part of my PC. Everything else was fine, turning on, working, as far as I could tell, because I couldn't see anything on my monitor because like my graphics card wasn't working, and my I don't use the Radeon I don't think my CPU has Radeon graphics like integrated into the CPU, which is fine because I don't want to stress my PC out by using the CPU for graphics when I could just use a graphics card. But it just wasn't working, so then I contact Nvidia, and I'm worried that they're just gonna tell me to go like fuck myself and be like, well, sucks for you, sucks your graphics card doesn't work. But I actually messaged them, and they're just like, I basically they're just like, okay, so I just basically say my graphics card randomly stopped working. It just won't turn on. I've tried troubleshooting it, updating the drivers, reinstalling, nothing works, and now it just refuses to even turn on or give back any video signal. And they basically were like, oh man, that sucks. Have you tried doing this, this, and this? It was all things that I had tried, and I was like, yeah, none of that worked. I've tried everything. And then they were like, can you try putting it in another PC? And I was like, I cannot, because this is the only PC I have. So I can't borrow anyone's PC to try and put this in. And they were like, oh, okay, well, in that case, we'll just give you a new one. So I was like, whoa, what? Like, really? So they were completely fine with giving me a new graphics card, just because I told them mine didn't work. So they just like had me send basically the serial number of the graphics card and like the like the part number and then like a receipt of showing that I actually purchased it, or had at least proof of purchase, that I wasn't like giving them some fake stuff. So then I sent them all that, and then they sent me, oh, sorry, we can't like give you a new one because of this graphics card they basically said this is an, oh, diamonds. They said this is NVIDIA brand, but it was made by another company, Zotac, which is like why I said Zotac GeForce NVIDIA graphics card. So they were like, you have to contact them and ask them for it, and I was like, oh man. So yeah, oh wow, and we're at Bedrock. Diamonds, let's go. We got diamonds, everyone, and we got 3. Oh heck yeah, dude. Let's go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is nice. This is nice. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, give me those diamonds. Oh, 5. Let's go, dude. Okay. I want to get to... What Y do I want to be at? I want to be at like... Okay, so let me just do this. I want to be at Y 13. I think this is the Y coordinate in which there is no... like lava can't spawn right under you. I could be wrong though. I'll probably get proven wrong, so we'll see what happens. Regardless, anyway, so they basically said you gotta contact Zotac, and so I contact Zotac, and I'm like, oh crap, I hope they're willing to give me a refund. So I basically just tell them like, hey, I did all this stuff, I tried to troubleshoot, NVIDIA offered me a refund but said that they couldn't fill it because it was made by you, and luckily they were super nice and just said, oh yeah, we got you. So they were like, just send it to this address, and we'll send you one back in like 2 to 3 business days whenever we process it. And I was like, cool. So I just paid like the $12 to ship it in a little box, gave it back to them, and then I got my graphics card back. It was just a new GeForce 1070, complete with a warranty too, which I thought was hilarious. They gave me a new warranty, new everything, just a new graphics card, same as the one I bought, all that good stuff, and put it in. It worked. Put in the graphics card. I mean, installed the drivers. Everything was good. It just started working. I was like, this is amazing. And yeah, then that was how you do it. Yeah, and then I got my graphics card back, and it was really nice. And then I was finally able to get the SATA cables too, which I had ordered to get my new hard drive working. So good times. And yeah. Other than that, that was the story of how my graphics card stopped working, and I just got a new one for free because NVIDIA and Zotac are awesome. Good times.